Welcome back. Welcome back. Today, we're yapping about the pretenders and the frauds, the contenders of the AFC, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be deciding if they're frauds, if they're for real. Let's go. It's the big surprise of this season. Second-year quarterback Drake May taking the Patriots to the top of the AFC West. Who expected this? A couple people thought they'd make the playoffs. But for Drake May to be playing like this, having them at the first overall seed in Mike Vrabel's first year, wow. Patriots fans, you're blessed. But we got to start at the top of this. The Patriots, Drake May. Drake May is playing the best football in the NFL right now. There's no other quarterback playing even close to his level, maybe Stafford, but I haven't seen a quarterback be able to eyeball something and throw it where he wants it like Drake May has done this year. He is cutting defenses up, just carving them. Dude, Drake May is just a talent, and he's only 23. It's going to be a long time watching this. The running game, it's improved. The running game is still lackluster. That's why this team, they haven't been challenged. The run game hasn't been great. They've been going on the back of Drake May. Drake May has led them to all this success. The running game is terrible. 0.8 yards per before contact on rushes. The offensive line has not been creating many wide holes. The only big gains they really have on rushing is the gash plays from Trevion Henderson. That's it. Rarely ever have these 7-yard carries. It's more 1 yard carry, negative 2 yard carry, 7 yard carry. They're inconsistent. In the receiving game, they have a bunch of weapons. Hunter Henry has been playing his best ball of his career. Kyle Williams is starting to show out as a deep threat for Drake May. Kayshon Boutte has been that deep threat for Drake May, improving drastically upon this season. Matt Collins is another deep threat for Drake May. And then they got Stephon Diggs destroying everybody in the intermediate route range. They're stacked on offense. They have weapons everywhere. The offensive line has made improvements, like I said. The running game, not as much. But the pass rush, Drake May was extremely high sacked last year. He's still getting sacked a little bit this year. 38% pressure rate. It's better than last year. But that's the thing. It's Drake May. He has a top 5 time to throw at 3.1 seconds, which is insane. It's up there with the Jets. With Tyrod and Justin Fields. Obviously, it's skewered for Justin Fields. But that is insane to think about. He's having this much time to pass the ball, and he's getting pressured a lot. He is just manipulating moving around the line. He evades defenders like it's nothing. Against the Giants, he pushed 2 defenders straight off him. You're like, dude, what the heck is wrong with this guy? Drake May could lead this team to glory. On the defensive side of the ball, it's the top rushing defense in the league, top 5. They've gone 10 games with scoring 23 or more and allowing 20 or less points. That is insane. First team to ever do so during a 10-game winning streak. They have Christian Gonzalez, who has been out for, I think, half the year. He's fully healthy now, clamping everyone who comes across him. The rushing defense, like I said, is clamps. They don't allow any big rushing games at all. You got to beat them through the air. Their pass rush has been fine. They average a 38% pressure rate, which is decent. I'm pretty sure if it was Milton Williams was out last game, but the pass rush, Landry, key signing. Clavon Chason, key signing. They hit on their free agents. Milton Williams, they already had Christian Barmore. This is a team, Spillane they brought in. They hit on everything. The Patriots killed this offseason. They're killing it this year. But what we got to talk about, are they going to make noise this year in the playoffs? And I think if Drake May keeps playing the way he does, I don't see why they lose a game. Drake May has been playing so good. This is one of the best quarterbacking seasons I've ever watched. Not stats-wise, just the way he manages the game. Like, it's unreal, if I'm going to be honest. Patriots are contenders, but the injury to Will Campbell hurts them a lot. The rushing game, I don't like the rushing attack at all. It's very not that great. They've yet to be challenged. Let's be honest. They have the easiest strength of schedule in the league. But that doesn't matter. They're winning games. They're contenders. They got Drake May. the Patriots should be the first overall seed. As things stand, this is actually the first seed at the moment, due out to tiebreaker. The Denver Broncos. What a crazy season this has been. Probably one of the most exciting as a fan, if you are a Broncos fan. How many one-score wins are they going to get? It's crazy. They're 8-2 in one-score games this year. They were like 1-8 last year. They only won one game in one-score games last year. Something crazy. During this win streak, their margin of victory is 10 points in the last 4 games. They're on an 8-game heater. The Broncos are thankful for Bo Money. Bo Magic. Bo Money is his nickname for a reason. In the clutch, he doesn't mess up. He doesn't fail in the clutch. This man it's like, dang, bro, we got to give you respect. He's the clutch god. He is so... Bo Nix is a talented quarterback, and you could see how Sean Payton he's had the mindset to be great, you could tell, and Sean Payton has completely mixed his aggressiveness with a teaching of taking what the defense gives you, and you could see it with Bo Nix. The weapons they have, they're pretty stacked. They got Sutton. Troy Franklin's coming along. Pat Bryant is starting to play a lot more. Evan Ingram is even starting to get involved. The big joker signing of the offseason. That was hilarious. The rushing attack. J.K. Dobbins has been hurt. Since then, it's been a little stagnant. Not a lot of big gains. R.J. Harvey's filled in. Second round pick. He's done a decent job. He's more of a 12 to 15 touches, couple catches a game compared to Dobbins, who you could feed the poop out of Dobbins. But hey, the rushing attack is average compared to the passing attack. It's a decent offense. Their offense is not the recipe for success for this team. The offensive line is elite, though. 30% pressure rate, 1.6 yards before contact on rushes. It is a top-tier offensive line Bo Nix is sitting behind. If it weren't for the defense, we'd be calling this team frauds. But the defense is insane, people. Oh, my Lord. It's one of the best in history. They're still on pace to set the sack record. 40% pressure rate through week 13. Insane. Almost every other play. 0.9 yards before contact on rush. This defense, there's no way to put it other than it is. It's crazy. They have playmakers everywhere. Hufanga, great signing. Pat Surtain, you know who he is. Riley Moss has actually been one of the most targeted corners, but also one of the better corners in football this year for how much he's been targeted. They got Jahadae Barron, rookie, who's starting to find his role in taking away these tight ends out of the game. Nick Bonito, 10.5 sacks so far. You still got Jonathan Cooper. You still have Zach Allen. Do I need to keep going on about this defense? It's the best in the league for me. This team, they're contenders. This Broncos team is contenders because Bo Nix, yes, he turns it over sometimes. He makes stupid throws, but the rushing attack should get better. Their offense is above average, not super good, but the defense, they're going to stay stops. This is a team that will play really good in the playoffs. I think the Broncos will win 1, maybe 2 playoff games, especially as the first seed if they get it. Watch out for Denver, as they are contenders. Current 3 seed and AFC North leader is the Jacksonville Jaguars. The ending to this division is going to be crazy between the Texans, Colts, and Jacksonville. But right now, it's Duval. And man, what a weird season this has been for every Jags fan, I bet. Your 2 most exciting and important players prior to the year starting, BTJ, Travis Hunter, have been non-factors. But they still sit here at 8-4. Thanks to Liam Cohen. He has completely changed this team's mentals. Before he came in, they were losers. They didn't know how to finish a game. Now their defense, stacked. The offense does enough to get by, is what I would say. Behind Liam Cohen's top 5 rushing attack, he's got Travis Etienne looking like his old self. Byshell Tootin scoring a bunch of touchdowns. They're at a 50% success rate right now. Trevor Lawrence. This is my issue with this team. It seems like a lot of... But Trevor Lawrence, they're getting by with him. They're trying to make him do as little as possible at this point of the season and still try to win. As you can see, Trevor Lawrence, he's still the same guy. First read or nothing. He's off target with a lot of his throws. it's just the T-Law experience, dude. He needs to be replaced. Him getting paid that much is blasphemy. Like, dude, maybe he needs to cut the hair. I know it's his whole persona, but maybe cutting the hair will lead to something. But hey, the receivers, besides BTJ and Travis Hunter, who's hurt, Strange has been a key piece to this team at tight end. When he's in, their offense does better. It's that simple. Parker Washington has been huge in the absence of Travis Etienne and BTJ. Huge. He scored how many touchdowns? Jacoby Myers, since joining, has been the best trade deadline acquisition of the year. For sure. The offensive line is okay. I'd say it's a little bit below average. It's getting better as the season goes on. They're allowing 37% pressure rate, 1.2 yards before contact every rush. Pretty good. It's not bad. But the defense is, once again, the defense is this team's how they win. Their defensive line is insane. They force turnovers. At the beginning of the year, they were doing it at an insane rate. They're still averaging 1.7 takeaways per game. That's how they win football games. They force you to make mistakes, and they make minimal mistakes. But it's also hard when you have Trevor Lawrence at quarterback who loves to give away the ball. Their rushing defense is the best in the league, 35% success rate against. Their special teams, Parker Washington, has 2 or 3 special teams touchdowns this year. Special teams have been a key for them. But they're also the most penalized team in the NFL. That is not good. Cohen, you need to fix that. That's on you. Honestly, I don't know how this team has an 8-4 record like it says they do. If I'm going to be honest, they're frauds. Total frauds. They've been getting by these games like, it's crazy how they can get by. The Cardinals in overtime. Their best win of the season was what? Who did they beat? I think they beat the Niners in Santa Clara. That was a good win. But the Jags are frauds. Trevor Lawrence is a fraud. They've gotten by. They're not going far. Trust me. Currently 6-6 and the AFC North holder, the Baltimore Ravens. The AFC North is going to get crazy. I'm going to make a whole video by itself on it. Their 2 teams are tied. They still have to play each other twice. Lamar Jackson has not been himself lately, but I think it's getting taken a little bit out of context. Lamar's, yes, he's missed a couple passes himself, either throwing the ball too high, not making it easy on his receiver, but there have been drops everywhere. It's just been a combination, especially the Bengals game. The Bengals game was a combination of just, this was not our best showing as a Ravens squad. But we have to remember, this team, it started 1-5. Lamar has been out half the year, and it's like, they were 1-5, and it was like we knew they were going to be 500 at this point in the season, and they are. So this is the best they could be. They lost to a Bengals team they were off the Joe Burrow jump. Obviously, it's not going to be a tough game, but they played nobody during that win streak. And then they got beat up by the Bengals. Beat up. That wasn't butt whooping. It just looked like a typical Lamar Jackson playoff game, did it not? Bad body language, crying, throwing his helmet, horrible turnovers. It just unfolds for Lamar. That's how he usually loses. But that's the thing. The weapons have been ineffective. Zay Flowers has fumbled more than he's gotten in the end zone. Wow. You're not getting paid, bro. Rashad Bateman's been dropping the ball. Mark Andrews has been dropping the ball. Isaiah Likely, he's been huge to get back. He fumbles the ball through the end zone last week. Like, man. D-Hop's good for 1 catch a game, 20 yards. But Derrick Henry, forgot about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's been playing good. He's been playing better as the season goes on. As their offensive line, it's middle of the pack. They're running the ball well, though. The rushing game, 1.6 yards before contact. That is music to Derrick Henry's ears. Lamar's getting pressured a lot. 40% pressure rate when dropping back. Their O-line, I'd say, is middle of the pack. But rushing attack is top 5, for sure. On the defensive side of the ball, oh my God, this team, dude, it's like they throw out 4 defensive linemen for nothing. 0 pass rush. 30% pass rush win rate. Bottom 3 in the league. 1.3 yards for contact against RBs. Not bad, because I guess that's the one thing Roquan Smith is decent for. But, dude, this rushing defense went from 80 yards per game last year to 117 this year. Yeah. It's over. It's bad. This is one of the worst defenses fans have seen in a long time. Probably, there was one year they were really bad. It was either last year, like 2020, one of those early 2020 years. But hey, the pass defense, their defense has gotten a little bit better. The pass rush is still not there, but it's the coverage that is there. You have Nate Wiggins, you have Kyle Hamilton, you have Malachi Starks. Those are your three guys on defense. Patrick Queen. But other than that, Roquan Smith, it's a nothing burger. They're very top heavy on defense. Pass rush, it's non-existent. But at least the red zone defense looked better last week against the Bengals, you could say. Matabuke is gone, out for the season. It's over. The Ravens, at least they've gone into the playoffs looking like a team that could win. They've been hot. They've been at the top of the conference. But this year, it just looks like, but maybe it could be the year just because it doesn't look good. It could be the year Lamar makes it happen in the playoffs. Maybe he needs that. But I don't think so. I highly doubt it. Wiggins is hurt. Hopefully he's back. The Ravens are frauds. The current 5th seed in the AFC at the moment are the LA Chargers. Justin Herbert is leading this limping team, hopefully, to the playoffs. It's going to be a tough stretch down the line, but man, this team has been described by injuries as just their two most important pieces of the offensive line. The injuries to Slater and Alt, I have to tell you guys, they're frauds. They're not frauds. They got unlucky. If Slater and Alt were healthy, they are one of the favorites to come out of the AFC. Justin Herbert has not proven it in the playoffs yet, but on paper and the way they've played, if they had Slater and Alt, I would totally see them as a contender. But they're frauds, sadly, just because of that. Herbert hurt his non-throwing thumb. He's going to be fine, but that is just another aspect for him to think about when he's in the pocket. I'm missing my 2 tackles. My other hand's hurt. It's not a good recipe for success down the line. It's like, they have the weapons. Keenan Allen's been great. Quentin Johnston's been here and there. Ladd's been here and there. They have good weapons. The running game has been, the running game's not that great. Omari Hampton getting hurt sucked. But Kamani Vidal has been fine. They're not a good running team, though. They're really not. It's every couple games when they play a bad rushing defense, they do good. The Raiders. Offensive line, 40% pressure rate, bottom 5. 0.9 yards before contact, bottom 5. It's horrible now. This really sucks. It really sucks. Injuries turn this, bottom of the pack. Injuries. The defense is pretty good in areas. Their pass defense is one of the best in the league, but the defensive line, 36% pressure rate, 1.3 yards before contact. It's around middle of the pack, I'd say. Derwin James is still elite. He's playing some of his best football of his career. Dante Jackson and Benjamin St-Juste. Crazy to me that these are 2 lockdown corners in 2025. Dante Jackson's always been a beast, just dealt with a bunch of injuries. St-Juste is the prototypical size to be a corner, and he has finally flourished with the Chargers. They've only allowed 10 touchdowns, and they've forced 10 interceptions. Their pass defense is elite, but the run defense, you could just run it all day against this team, if I'm going to be honest. Thule has 10 sacks on the season. But my issue with this team is the gauntlet they're about to go through the end of the season. They still got to play the Eagles. They got to play the Texans. They got to play the Chiefs. This team in the playoffs is not going to make anything happen. They're pretenders. They're frauds. It really sucks, dude. I wish we could have seen this team fully healthy with the 2 tackles because they'd easily be a contender in my eyes. But the Chargers are frauds. The current 6th seed at the moment are the Indianapolis Colts. This Cinderella season led by Danny Dimes. They've gotten stuck in mud, and it's horrible. This is why the NFL season is so brutal, man. You could be looking so good, and then just one injury to Danny Dimes, torn labrum. It's like any chance they had at winning a Super Bowl, winning a couple playoff games, it's gone. It's really that simple. He can't move out of the pocket. It's not over exaggeration. Though his legs were key. Any quarterback's legs are key. And I believe the injury is just going to keep getting worse. Because how are you going to get a labrum better without pop in 1,000 million pills before games, right? I don't know why they're playing him. He's still able to throw the ball down the field because Danny Dimes, as he's shown this year, he's a good thrower of the football. And Steichen has done a very good job, especially last week, of dicing up plays to just make it easy on Danny Dimes. Man, it sucks. At least they still have Jonathan Taylor, the best running back in football. But that's the thing. He's only good when they win. And when they lose, he's honestly a non-factor. And that's when you know your team is not a good recipe for success. Especially after this Danny Dimes injury. That is the worst case scenario. That's not good. Him doing good when you win and then not good when you lose is not good for a running back. I want him to consistently be good. They still have the best O-line in football. One of the best. 35% pressure rate. 1.6 yards before contact. Top 5 in both. Versus the Texans, they almost got it done. But they could not do anything. It's been bad. It's a season of just hope that's just gone. It feels like it's sickening as a middle ground fan. They have all the weapons you need. Downs, Pittman, Tyler Toad Warren, Alec Pierce has been crazy this year. It's the top scoring offense for a reason. Steichen has been amazing. Just Danny Dimes going down just affects this offense drastically. The defense, 33.9 pressure rate, 1.4 yards before contact, which is around middle of the pack. Without DeForest Buckner, the pressure's gone. The new acquisition of Sauce Gardner, 2 first-round picks, injured already. Probably going to be out 4+ weeks because they're going to be cautious. There's just no pressure. They don't affect pressure. The Texans have had a bottom-tier O-line. They've been getting cooked the whole year. Guess what? It looked like a top 5 O-line against the Colts. Yeah. Not good. They suck in conversion percentage, but they do force big stops in the red zone, in field goal range. It's just, the drives are long-lasting drives. They don't force 3 and outs. They're not quick drives. They stay on the field for a long time, then get the stop in the red zone or in field goal range, which is why their points total is so low. They don't allow many touchdowns. They've been horrible on third down until they get stuck in mud. And the past 3 weeks, they're actually a top 5 team against third downs. The linebackers are only good tacklers, bro. Zaire Franklin, Jermaine dude. They're throwing these 2 dudes to go side to side, sideline to sideline. It's not going to work. And their pass coverage has been affected by that. The Colts, if it weren't for this Danny Dimes injury, the injuries to Sauce, the injuries to Buckner, even though Buckner and Sauce could be back, Danny Dimes will be affected the whole year. This team is a fraud now. Injuries, man. I hate injuries. The Colts are frauds. Currently holding the last seed in the close and competitive AFC are the Bills. The Bills. This offense is the typical rushing messiah of the NFL. They run the ball down your throat. Josh Allen is having, I'd say, a decent year. This is not his standards last year, the years prior. He's turning the ball over more, which is, you could see it last year. He was getting a little lucky, a lot of drop picks, a lot of drop turnovers. But this year, he's completing his passes at a career high rate, almost 70%. Would y'all have ever expected him to hit 70% completion after seeing his freshman season? I would never have. Josh Allen he's a beast. James Cook is having the best year of his career. Last year was definitely not a fluke. The rush attack is beastly. The weapons, though, are inconsistent. Khalil Shakir is fine every here and there. He's not a playmaker. He does pull out the yak every once in a while, but he's not the number 1 option you're looking for. Kincaid has been in and out of the lineup hurt. Keon Coleman, who was supposed to be that guy, has been a healthy scratch the past 2 weeks before this week where he caught a touchdown. Maybe he'll get right. But overall, the weapons are just average. The running backs have improved, though. They're catching the ball more. They weren't... Last year, they had so much success in the receiving game from running backs. Ty Johnson was catching the ball a ton. And you've slowly started to see that as the season has gone on. Look at how much impact Ty Johnson's made. James Cook out of the backfield catching the ball. It's so much easier. The offensive line, 35% pressure rate, 2.1 yards before contact. Do you hear that? 2 yards before contact, James Cook is having. Congrats to you, James Cook. You got the best offensive line rushing in football. Average passing, blocking though. To be honest. This is crazy. Josh Allen was sacked only 14 times last year. I can't believe that. It's already up to 28 this year. The offense is going to be fine. They're going to score points. Josh Allen's going to pull stuff out of his cranium to get them on the board. But the issue with my team is the defense. It is an unbalanced defense. The rushing defense is the worst in football. It's holding them back from Josh Allen's best chance at a Super Bowl. They'd be the favorite in the AFC. For sure, if the rushing defense was a tad bit better. It's so bad, man. The pressure. They're getting some pressure on the quarterback. 38% pressure rate. 1.3 yards before contact. You'd think, that's not crazy. 1.3 yards before contact defense. But they're getting gashed for 150 yards per game on the ground. That is mental. Mental. And it's starting to get cold. December, November football. You want a good rushing defense. Like, this has been my thing. The rushing defense, they will go as far as this rushing defense will take them. Because Allen can do so much. We've seen this every playoffs. He does enough. Defense fails him. Someone messes up for him. Someone drops the ball. But that's the thing. The rushing attack is so bad. The rushing defense is so bad. The air defense is number 1 in the league. That's how close they are from getting Joshy his first Super Bowl ring. If they had a just top 20, top 25 rushing attack, if it wasn't rushing defense, if it wasn't this bad, they're my favorite. I'm picking the Bills to win the Super Bowl this year. But until we see a little bit of improvement in the rushing defense, the passing defense doesn't matter. Who needs to pass when you can run all over your face? Nobody. Fix this rushing attack and you are instant contenders. You're still contenders now because Josh Allen is the man. The Bills are contenders. Who's going to end up with the first seed in this division? Is it going to be the Broncos? Is it going to be the Patriots? Is a team going to fall out of the playoffs? The Colts maybe. The Jags maybe. What's going to happen? There's still so many competitive games left in the season. It's going to be exciting. I'll see y'all boys tomorrow.